When nothing is wrong, we remain carefree and oblivious to our health. As our heart does not give us any signals. But when something is wrong, it definitely gives you signals. You need to listen to it. For example, if our breathing is healthy and normal, we are not even aware that we are breathing. But if we have a cold or asthma, we will surely be aware of breathing because we face a lot of difficulties. The same is true with our mental well-being. When everything is healthy, we are not even aware of our mental process and we feel balanced, contented within ourselves. But when things are out of balance, when things are out of balance, our heart gives us clear warning signals that something is wrong. We feel anxious, depressed, fearful, or angry, and these emotions can escalate to mental illness if not managed properly. According to the World Health Organization, more than 300 million people are now living with depression. And it is the leading cause of ill health and disability worldwide. Also, depression-related suicide is now the second leading cause of deaths for 15 to 29-year-olds. The statistics are chilling. We are facing an epidemic of mental imbalance around the world, of course, along with COVID-19 pandemic, which is added furthermore to our anxieties, fear, and things like that. We need to have some basic tools to better manage our mental well-being in this day-to-day and this fast-paced life. Now today, prolific speaker, he is Prashant Vasu, with us for the evening, and he is from Chennai, India. Prashant is a heartfulness trainer and a practitioner. He is practicing for the last 24 years this heartfulness way of doing meditation, and as a personal trainer, he was from last 7.5 years, he was doing these training programs. He conducts heartfulness programs to all the corporates and in various heartfulness activities. So he's currently serves as a partner at McKinsey and Company. So now, without wasting much time, I hand over the presentation to Brother Prashant, who is from Chennai. He's going to enlighten us for the evening. Brother Prashant?
Yes.
Yeah, please, all yours. Yeah, please. Okay. Please, sir.
Thank you for giving us an opportunity to participate in your lives. We hope during these testing times in the world right now, with the global pandemic, we hope you're all keeping safe along with your families and your loved ones. And we hope it remains that way. Murthy did a very good job of setting the context of mental health, and what we might be exploring right now is how yoga can actually resolve and in fact enhance our mental health so substantially. And there's a wonderful schematic as to how yoga can enable that we'll explore very soon. Our intention in this session is to keep it experiential, largely experiential. As you might have experienced even yesterday, heartfulness is primarily a practice that enables unique experiences. The explanation is of secondary relevance. The primary emphasis is always on experience. So the greater part of this session will be around experience. But just to set the context of how yoga and how it can actually help us enhance our mental health, I'll just share a few perspectives that you may want to consider. But I repeat that the main thing for this session is really your experience. Okay, so I'll just try and make a few grounding points for all of us to come to a shared appreciation of what yoga is. Yoga, which is commonly today in worldwide understood more as just physical practices, is far, far deeper than that. In fact, yoga is both a state, it refers to a state, and to a path or a practice. As a state, yoga is nothing but a complete state of union between us and the divine within us. In other words, it is a state of union with our highest potential. That is what yoga allows us to do. Why is that important? Because the divine within us is supposed to be characterized by supreme, indescribable bliss. And all human beings, no matter who we are, at a very deep level, whether we realize it or don't realize it, we are all relevance of the state of total union with ourselves, with the divine within us. That's the relevance of yoga, right? And it refers to that state of union. The second point that I also want to make is yoga as a path or a practice. How does one attain union with that highest state within us? It is by settling the activities of the mind. It's by settling the activities of the mind. When the mind settles on any object, the nature of that object is revealed, and the mind that settles on an object attains union with the object. So, if we want to attain union with the divine within us, which is characterized by immense bliss, indescribable bliss, then we need to settle the activities of the mind on that self within us. That is, in fact, one of the definitions of yoga as a path or a practice, as defined by the great sage Patanjali, who said yoga is chitta vritti nirodha, which means channeling or settling the activities of the mind. So the first point that I want to make is that the word yoga goes way beyond what it is commonly referred to in today's world as asana practice, but it refers to a state of union, yuj, meaning union, between us and the divine within us. And number two, it is also a path or a practice, and that practice is essentially about settling the activities of the mind. And when we settle it on the highest self that is within us, we attain union with that self and experience a bliss that is incomparable. In fact, it goes beyond bliss. So that is the first point that I want to make around what yoga refers to in its holistic sense. The second point that I'd like to make is about how is this useful to us? How is the state of yoga useful to us? And here too, if we go back to the Bhagavad Gita, the beautiful text, there is a great revelation there from two definitions of yoga. And those two definitions, if we combine them, it suggests that when we are in a state of yoga, we both feel and perform at our best. Why do we feel at our best? Because that state of yoga is characterized by total balance and equanimity. In one of the shlokas of the Bhagavad Gita, it says Samatvam Yoga Uchyate, meaning think of yoga as balance or equanimity. And in that state of balance and equanimity, we really feel at our best. We all have experienced it. When we feel at our best, we are totally neutral and balanced. We are not worried about the past or the future. We are completely absorbed in the present. And the second benefit of that, we not only feel at our best, but when we feel at our best, we also perform at our best. And that is why in the Bhagavad Gita, there is another definition of yoga, which is yogaha karmasu kaushalam, which is excellence or skill in action, is also defined as yoga. In modern world, the state of flow, it is called the state of flow, and there's wonderful research around it by a gentleman called Mihai Csikszentmihalyi, who's the author of Flow and Creativity. It is supposed to be a state characterized by supernormal innovations, Olympic performances, superlative Olympic performances, and so forth, where when these people were interviewed as to what allowed them to perform so well, they said that they felt to be in a state of flow. So yoga is nothing but a state of flow as we understand in the world today. So that is the second big point that I want to make, that in a state of yoga, there is both the benefit of feeling balanced, and there is both and equally the benefit of performing at one's best. So yoga is not only some abstract spiritual, there's not only an abstract spiritual benefit to yoga, but there is a concrete practical benefit to yoga of feeling and performing at our best. So that is the second point that I wanted to make. The third point that I want to make is, if we take yoga as a practice, yoga as a path, there's been some phenomenal saints of the past to craft what is the path, an integrated path to human development to achieve that state of yoga. It is really a breakthrough in human development. And I wonder if we really look at it that way in the modern world and embrace it in its totality. This path to yoga is actually a holistic path that has many, many elements to it that you will see there, very systematically laid out. It starts with what is called sadhana chatushtaya, which is the 4 elements of practice, comprising viveka, which is discrimination, vairagyam, which is a sense of detachment, shat sampatti, which are the 6 spiritual attainments, and finally mumukshutva, which is a longing to rise beyond one's current state, to be free, to be liberated from our limitations, called mumukshutva. And if you go further within it, Shat Sampati has 6 practices associated with it. Those are, as you will see in this page, regulation of the mind called Shama, control of the senses called Dhamma, Uparati, which is a state of self-withdrawal, and it is a desire-free state, a state even beyond Vairagya. 4th is called Titiksha, which is a state of fortitude, what we would call resilience. 5th is called faith or Shraddha, and the last is Samadhan, which is a state of centeredness. These are the 6 spiritual attainments or practices corresponding to Shat Sampati, meaning 6 spiritual attainments. And the most critical of them, as Patanjali talks about, is regulation or settling the activities of the mind, which is Shama. And within that, the great sage Patanjali developed what is called Ashtanga Yoga, which is a path of practice, a path of adhyas, not a path of renunciation, but a path of practice. Ashta Anga Yoga, meaning 8 limbs. And this is an integrated set of practices covering the mind, the body, and our conduct, and the spirit. And you will see there the 8 elements. Yama, which refers to our outer behavior and eliminating all our negative qualities, good conduct. Niyama, which is about our outer behavior again, but referring to disciplines or regularity, observations. Asana, which is about the physical posture, which also has an effect on the mind when we combine it with breath. Pranayama, which is the regulation of the breath, to in turn regulate the life force and prepare us to meditate in a comfortable way. Pratyahara, which is withdrawing the senses within us, because if we want to realize ourselves, we had to withdraw our senses inward. Dharana, which is about mental focus. Dhyana, which is meditation, resulting in samadhi, which is the original condition of total balance or equanimity. So this is really a breakthrough, this Ashtanga Yoga that has been crafted by sage Patanjali many, many centuries back, is really a breakthrough in human development, and its 8 practices are primarily to do 2 things. One is to eliminate all our impurities, Ashuddhik Shaye, he says. And the second is thereby regulate the activities of the mind, Yogaha Chitta Vritti Nirodha. Now, what I'm going to do is take one more page to connect it to heartfulness. Why are we talking about it as a Heartfulness Institute? So, Murthy, if you can go one page forward to the next page in the presentation. The heartfulness practices, can you go to the next page, Murthy? Yes, this is the practice of Ashtanga Yoga. Please note that this is an integrated practice. The purpose being to regulate the activities in the mind, but it deals with the body, the mind, and the soul in some ways. So if you go to the next page. So what I'm next going to refer to is, where does heartfulness come into this entire picture? If you look at heartfulness practices, it actually it starts directly at dhyana. In fact, dharana, dhyana leading to samadhi. And this is a breakthrough. The idea is the change, the change in heartfulness is an inside out change. The idea is if we can regulate the activities of our mind, automatically yama and niyama become much more easily manifestable. Our posture becomes automatically much more composed, and our regulation of breath happens automatically. So while heartfulness respects all the 8 limbs of Patanjali's Ashtanga Yoga and is an integrated practice comprising the inner and the outer, the beauty is that it starts with the inner practice. What you see is green. So what heartfulness does is it directly goes to dhyana. In fact, a little bit of dharana and dhyana directly goes to meditation, starts there, and everything else, all the other practices that you see on the page, in some ways become a natural outcome of a good practice of meditation, and they become much more easily possible. For example, a meditative mind, when it is directed and when it rests on the higher self, automatically discrimination or viveka becomes possible. We are able to distinguish between what really matters in life and what matters less. Vairagyam automatically becomes possible because when we are connected to our highest self, all the less important things, they fall away. We don't actively need to detach. So this is the insight of heartfulness practices, that by going to the main practice of meditation, which we will experience very soon, and eliminating the impurities that come in the way of our being able to access the divine essence within us, we are able to quickly develop ourselves and experience the bliss of the soul. That's all I wanted to say in terms of background. So I'm going to invite you all to 2 practices. The first three practices, one after the other. Practice number 1, we will just do some simple breathing for 2 minutes. Very simple breathing, foundational breathing, just to settle ourselves emotionally. Practice number 2, we will do what is called cleaning or rejuvenation for 5-10 minutes. And practice number 3 is meditation, which we will do for about 10-15 minutes. Okay. So on the breathing, here is what we're going to do. We're going to close our right nostril and inhale and exhale deeply 10 times with our left nostril. And the purpose of doing this is when we breathe through the left nostril, we are able to activate the parasympathetic nervous system, which is about resting and digesting. So when we are emotionally unbalanced, so let's say we are upset with something, we are angry, or we are stressed, or we have a panic attack, it is very helpful to do some quiet breathing, deep breathing from the left nostril, at least 10 times, and first bring ourselves to a little bit of balance. Okay? So may I request you to join us in this practice. You can please close your right nostril and 10 times deep breathing through the left nostril. Okay? Please start. Please observe how you are feeling now. Now we will go to the practice of rejuvenation or cleaning. So now I'm going to explain the method of cleaning. So here is how we practice cleaning. It is a very, very simple 3-step process. Step number 1, we start with a positive suggestion that we are already clean at the end of the process. Okay. Step number 2, we make a suggestion backed by our willpower that all impurities and complexities are leaving my system through the back, that is the top of the head to the tailbone. All impurities and complexities are leaving my system through the back in the form of smoke or vapor. And we apply our will behind this thought as if we are gently pushing away all the impurities and complexities, like you're seeing in that video. Okay. We go on doing this for a while and accelerate the process of cleaning. Please note that we have to gently apply our willpower without any force or strain. So this is step number 2. Step number 3 is that as we start feeling lighter, we make a gentle suggestion that a sacred current of purity and simplicity is entering our system from the front, clearing away all the impurities and complexities and filling our entire system. That is the step number 3. That a current of purity and simplicity is entering our system from the front, clearing away all the impurities and complexities and filling every cell in our system. And our system is completely pure and simple. So this is the 3rd step. And with this, we will close the practice of cleaning. Okay? I will now walk you through this practice for about 5 minutes, and then we will meditate for about 15 minutes. Okay? Okay, everybody, please sit comfortably, close your eyes, make your breath normal, and we'll guide you through step by step the practice of cleaning. So please sit comfortably and close your eyes, make your breath normal. Please start with a positive suggestion that you are already clean at the end of the process. Now please suggest that all impurities and complexities are leaving your system, and apply your will behind this thought. The impurities and complexities Please suggest that the impurities and complexities are leaving your system and apply your will behind this thought. The impurities and complexities are leaving your system from the back, that is the top of the head, to the tailbone. Please continue applying your will behind this thought. And please suggest now that the impurities and complexities are leaving your system from the back in the form of smoke or vapor, and continue applying your will behind this process. Please slowly accelerate the cleaning process. Now, as we feel lighter, please suggest that a sacred current of purity and simplicity is entering your system from the front and clearing away all the impurities and complexities. When impurities leave, purity sets in. When complexities leave, simplicity sets in. The sacred current is filling the entire system, every cell in the system, and the entire system is now pure and simple. We will now move to meditation. I'm going to invite Sister Tejasvi to conduct a meditation, but just very briefly, when she announces please start meditation, just sit very comfortably with the idea that there is a source of light in the heart already present that is drawing your attention inwards. Simply rest your mind very naturally in the heart without any strain. If thoughts arise, please ignore them. Just ignore them. Mr. Tejasvi, would you like to start the meditation, please? You are on mute currently.
Yes, brother.
Please start meditation.
That's all.
You may gently first keep your eyes closed for another 10 to 30 seconds and observe how you're feeling now. And when you're ready, slowly open your eyes. Thank you, Mukti, for those questions. We would encourage you to study your condition right now and see how you're feeling. And later you can think about these things. The good news is you've actually spent the last 25 minutes across cleaning and meditation. It is a non-trivial thing to spend 20-25 minutes like this closing your eyes, and we want to congratulate and applaud your ability to do that.
Brother Prashant, I should thank you so much. Now you just said that no, there are no barriers. You have come all the way from Chennai to Muscat and again going back in a flash from Muscat to Chennai back. Thank you so much.
So, friends, Heartfulness can be reached at wellness@heartfulness.org. Heartfulness has a lot of other ventures and endeavors which it has handholded. And regarding these ventures, one of them is the Hearts app, which is very much there. Just download the Hearts app and you can practice heartfulness from wherever you are. We have the Heartfulness magazine, which is also online and has a lot of good articles which are related to your fitness and well-being. We have master classes, the free meditation master classes, which are known as Mastering Being. The link is being shown on the screen. We have come up with many programs, webinars. We have the Globe webinars, we have the Pearl webinars, and what we now, just now we were a part of the Heartfulness Wellness webinars. The youth have developed another line or another stream which is called as Hello Life for the youngsters. Our very own Dr. Kamlesh Patel ji is on this program called Tune Into Your Heart. We have also started the relief fund, the COVID-19 relief fund for people who would definitely benefit from this, and please feel free to contribute towards the COVID-19 relief fund. We have a helpline which caters to anyone who has problems, anyone who wants to just talk. It is known as the voice that cares, and needless to say, we all care for each other. So at 9 o'clock, we sit with our prayer, with our hearts open, with the universal prayer, and you can see that, which is also there, the link of which it is given. So feel free to participate in this movement, in this life, way of life, which is called as heartfulness. Thank you. Thanks a lot.